Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing a 3D random nail set. I'm calling it random because I really don't know what this style is considered, but it's definitely the type of nails I've been really into lately. So I'm going to start off by prepping my nails, and I'm filing the sides just a little bit, and I'm going to buff the surface to remove the shine, and then after that I'm just going to cleanse them and go in with my base coat. So I don't have a set design. It is, like I stated, just random. I'm kind of just making things up as I go along for majority of the set. I do have a few ideas in mind for a couple of the nails as far as things that I want to incorporate. Like I have some new charms, so I know I want to add those. But I'm pretty much just winging this set. So starting off, I applied that milky white base color and I didn't let it cure. And then I went back on top of it with a red gel color and kind of spread that around, and then I cured it. And now I'm coming back and I'm adding, like I said, I had some charms that I just got, so I wanted to add to this nail set that little star. And then I also had these spikes that I've had for about a week or so, and I was very excited to use. So I added those, applied a top coat to the entire nail, including the charms. I like to really seal them in, and that nail was done. So now we're on to the next nail, and for this one, I applied that milky white base color, cured it, applied a matte top coat, cured it, and then now I'm going back over it, creating this random design with red gel polish. Lately, I've been really into the matte and glossy finish combination on nails. So you're going to see that throughout this nail set. Basically, I cured that red design that I did, and now I'm going back in and applying more of that milky white color to the milky white areas, and I'm just creating like a 3D aspect. So I'm using my dotting tool here because I want to pick up a good chunky amount of that milky white color, and I'm just applying it to the milky white areas. So I'm doing that, and then once I'm done, I cure that, and I'm gonna go back in on top of those milky white areas with a matte top coat because I want that part to be matte. I'm also going to go back over the red with a glossy top coat because I realized I didn't even put top coat on top of the red, so can't leave that like that. So I'm that filling in the red areas basically with a glossy top coat, so we have that nice and sealed. And then we have the matte top coat for the milky white, so there's that contrast, and there's also that like bulky and 3D aspect of it. So now on to the next nail. I applied that milky white color, let it cure, applied a matte top coat, let that cure, and now we're going to go in with the design, which is going to be a harness design. I am taking a skinny nail art brush, dipping it in some red gel polish, and I'm creating 3 lines going down the center. So basically, I'm creating like the straps of a harness, and I'm doing a specific design. So first, I'm going to start off with those 3 lines, cure it, and now I'm going back in and I'm creating more straps on the sides of those lines. So after I'm done creating those lines, I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to go back in, and I have some O-rings that I'm going to add to the center there where I left that little gap. I'm going to add these O-rings to that area. I like to use Builder Gel or a gel glue for this video. I did use a gel glue, and basically with gel glue, it has to be cured. And that's usually how I like to apply like any sort of accessories to my nails, like rhinestones and charms and things. So I'm just blobbing that on there into the center and applying those O-rings, and then I'm going to let it cure. So the next part when you're creating a harness nail, in my opinion, is really important. And you want to go over that O-ring with the same color. So I'm using that red, and I'm going over those little areas on the sides and the top of the O-ring, like where the O-ring and those red lines meet, I'm going over it. So it's creating the effect that the O-ring is actually going through those red lines, aka the straps. So that part is very important. After I do that, I did let it cure. And now I'm going back in with these little baby spikes. I'm going to add that all throughout the little straps of the harness. I am using gel glue, like I said, and I'm just applying it into the area that I'm going to apply the spikes onto. And I have to do this just like a couple at a time. So that's all I'm doing here, applying the gel glue, applying the spikes, and then curing it. So after I'm done applying the spikes, I'm going to take a glossy top coat with my nail art brush and just apply it to the red part. So I actually should have did this before I applied the spikes, but it's okay. I'm using my nail art brush to get into all those little crevices, cure that, and then we're done. So now I'm on to the next nail, and this one is really easy. I'm just going to put spikes all throughout this nail, and I applied some of that gel glue onto the area that I'm going to work with. I didn't apply it to the whole nail, just a small part. I'm doing this bit by bit because otherwise the spikes are going to like slip and slide off. So I'm just applying some gel glue, applying some spikes to the area, and then flash curing it. And I have like two different sizes of this. So there's like really tiny ones and then there's bigger spikes. There's no pattern or anything. I'm just putting them random throughout the nail. After that, I'm applying a glossy top coat on top of the entire nail. And then we're going to move on to the next nail. So I already applied my base color, which is red for this nail. I cured it and then I applied a matte top coat, cured that, and now I'm going back over it with red gel polish using my nail art brush. So I'm doing a swirl design on the entire nail. After I'm done with the actual design, I let it cure completely, and then I'm gonna go back over the design only with a glossy top coat. So it's gonna create that matte glossy effect where the background is matte and the swirl design is glossy, and it's just gonna make it like stand out. So I decided to call it a night after this nail, and I'm finishing the set the next day. So for this next nail, I applied 2 layers of that milky white color. I let it cure. Then I applied a base coat, but I did not let the base coat cure. And after I applied that base coat, I let it sit, and it created this effect right down the center. So because I did not cure the base coat, any color you put over it is going to spread, and that is how you create that croc skin effect. After the design spreads to my liking, then I cure it. So after it fully cured, I took it back out, and right now I'm applying some builder gel. And I'm using a builder gel in a bottle because it's easier. I could just use the brush and apply some of that right on top of those red patterns. What I'm doing is skipping one section, and then I'm going to cure it, and then I'm going to come back and do those other sections. I just don't want the builder gel to spread and create one big blob. I just want it a little bit more of a 3D effect on the color and the areas between the color to kind of dip in. That way it looks a little bit more bumpy. So after I'm done with that, I'm going to fully cure it and then apply a glossy top coat. So after I applied the top coat, I decided I wanted to add a charm to it. So I'm going to use that spider charm, and I'm just buffing off a little area, applying some gel glue, and then I'm going to put that spider charm right on top, and then I'm going to cure it, and then I'm going to be done with this nail. The next nail, I'm going to be doing a matte and glossy French design. I'm also going to be adding some charms on top. So I basically applied 2 layers of that red color, then applied a matte top coat, let that cure. And now I'm going back in with the same red color and creating a French design. So after the French design is fully cured, I did go in with a glossy top coat, made sure that was cured, and now I'm adding my charms. I'm going to be using this rhinestone skull, and then I'm going to be adding some rhinestones along the border of the French design. I am using my gel glue, so after all of the stones are applied and it's fully cured, I'm done with this nail, and we're going to move on to the next one. So the next design I'm going to do, I actually had a specific idea in mind, and I never did it before, so I wasn't sure how I was going to execute it, but it turned out great, and this is actually one of my favorite nails from the set. So basically, I applied 2 layers of that milky white, let that cure, and now I'm going in with a builder gel. So I just scooped up a chunk of that builder gel, and I actually did 2 layers of this S design because I wanted it to really stick out. This builder gel I absolutely love because it's thick and I'm able to create designs like this without having to worry about it like spreading really fast. So I put that nail in my lamp to cure, and while that's curing, I have a piece of plastic here, and basically, I'm sorry, I'm out of the frame a little bit, but I'm dipping that same brush into that builder gel and I'm creating 2 little arches. Like I said, I've never done this design before, but I kind of had an idea in mind, and this actually worked out. So I'm putting the little arch over the S shape that I created. And here I was just kind of testing it out. I wasn't sure how I was going to make this work. And the builder gel is sticky, so it was like sticking to my gloves and stuff. But I ended up taking more of that builder gel and adding it, and then just holding down that area. So once I put that little arch into that blob of builder gel I just added, it stood up how I wanted it to, like that. And I put that in my lamp to cure. Then I did the other end of that and cured it as well. And now I'm going to do the other little arch. I am trying to explain this design as best as possible. I don't know if I'm doing a good job or not, but hopefully you guys understand. And I mean, viewing it, maybe you can understand what I'm doing. So right now you can't really see the design that well, but once it's polished, you'll be able to see it more. I am going to put this in my lamp to cure, and then I'm going to come back and just file a little bit on the top, make sure that the little arch is nice and smooth. This builder gel is very sticky, and also add to the fact that I did not apply any top coat to the base color. So the whole nail was pretty much sticky and full of like dust. So I did spray some alcohol on it to clean it. That's why my glove is wet there. After I dried it, I'm going in with this red color. I'm going in over that whole swirly design I just did. After I finish polishing the design red and it's fully cured, I'm going to go in with the next step of this design, which is adding a chain. So I purposely made those arches so that it has an area underneath it that I'm able to attach some O-rings to. This part of the design would have been a little bit more easier if I had like chains, but I ordered chains in bulk and they still haven't arrived yet. So I'm going to use my O-rings. They work just the same. So I'm going to open that O-ring, stick it through that area, and then I'm going to keep adding O-rings until I have a little chain. There is another area at the bottom of the nail. Remember, I created 2 arches. So there is another area at the bottom of the nail, and I'm able to stick one of the O-rings through that as well. So we're going to have a chain going from the top to the bottom. So this is how the nail looks. I love it. It's so cute. And I basically kind of tested out the chain here, but then I remembered I had to apply a top coat. So I took the chain out and then I just applied top coat to the whole nail. And then I just put the chain back on to the little nail. I applied 2 layers of that milky white color, and now I'm applying a matte top coat. This nail, I want to have that matte and gloss effect again. So after that matte top coat is finished, I'm getting my red gel polish and my nail art brush, and I'm going to create a red border around the entire nail. After I finish applying that red border, I'm going to put it in my lamp to cure, take it back out, and then I'm going to go in with some charms. I'm going to be using some spikes in 2 different sizes. So I just applied some of that gel glue and then put some spikes on it, cured it, and then I'm going to do that all around the entire border. After I applied all my spikes and it was fully cured, I went in with a nail art brush and I'm just applying a glossy top coat to the remaining red areas. So I love the nail, but I want it to be a little bit more extra. So I'm adding a charm right in the center of that nail. We're going to cure that, and now we're going to move on to the next nail. For this nail, I'm doing something similar where I'm going to have a chain hanging, except I'm not going to create that 3D effect I did on the other nail. So I applied 2 coats of that red gel polish, let it cure, and now I'm adding an O-ring. So what I did was add a blob of that gel glue. Then I added the O-ring on top. But while it was curing in the lamp, I had my dotting tool under it so that it'll create that little lift there. So you see how the O-ring is kind of lifted up. It's not flat onto the nail. That is exactly what I wanted. After it cured and it was in place, I went back over to the corner area and applied more Builder Gel on top of it. So now I'm going to do the same thing as I did the other nail. I'm just going to attach O-rings until I have a chain. So after I made the chain, I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom as I did on the top of the nail, where I added that gel glue and then put an O-ring on top of it, held it up while it was curing so that it's lifted a little bit. And then I'm going back in with more gel glue, and we're going to add that right on top. I want to make sure those O-rings are nice and secure. And then I'm going to cure that. After it's fully cured, I'm taking my red gel polish and I'm going over that area of the O-ring. So basically, I want to make it seem like that part of the nail is, a little bit 3D, but I want it to look like the O-ring is going through it, like it pierced the nail. So I'm applying that red right on top of that area on both of the O-rings, and then I'm going to cure it. Because this was my first time doing this type of design, I actually had to open the whole chain back up to put a top coat on the entire nail, and then just add the chain again once it was fully cured. That way the chain doesn't stick. If I put top coat on it and put the chain back on, the chain will potentially stick to the nail, and that's not what I want. I want the chain to be loose and hanging. So I'm actually going to apply the nail set right now because I did make them for myself. I'm just pushing my cuticles back, and I'm going to clean underneath whatever itty bitty nails I do have. I know my nails are really short. I'm trying to let them grow out and not bother them too much. They are actually growing a little bit, but I'm going to clean underneath them. And then I'm cutting my cuticles as well. So I also want to mention that when a nail tech, or when I say I'm cutting my cuticles, it is basically that white tissue that you see on your nail bed. So you might notice that around your cuticle area, there's white tissue either on your skin or kind of sticking up, and that is what I'm cutting off, and that's what is okay to cut off. So that is what I'm doing, and then I'm going to file the surface of my nail. So usually I will etch the inside of a nail, and that means just file the inside surface. So I would use my nail drill for that, but I'm not going to do it. I don't really feel like doing that today. I prep my nails good enough, and usually my nails last a long time even if I didn't etch the inside. So I'm just going to clean the inside of all of the nails. Sometimes that blue tacky stuff gets stuck on it, so I'm cleaning that with an alcohol prep pad. I'm also cleaning my own nails with the alcohol prep pad. After I clean my nail surface, I don't touch them. So our hands have natural oils. Even if you feel like, oh, I don't sweat a lot of my hands, or my hands feel dry, still just don't risk touching your nails once you have finished prepping them, because you don't know what's on your hands. Your hands can transfer oils or dust or dirt particles to your nail plate, and it could interfere with your nail sticking on properly. So a few other things that can interfere with how long your nails stay on is, one, not etching the inside. Like I mentioned, usually I etch the inside. Usually when someone places an order on my website and I ship out nails, I etch the inside. So etching the inside of the nail helps out a lot. If you look at a press-on nail, the inside is very smooth and shiny. So that can be a major reason why your pressed-on nails will pop off. Also, the type of glue that you use can make a huge difference. I use this KDS glue that I'm using in this video, and this is what I send out with orders. This glue is amazing. I have tried a lot of glues, and there's definitely some that my nails have popped off within a day or two. So that is another reason. Also, keep in mind your daily life. Are you constantly washing your hands? Is your hands constantly in water? Do you do a lot of activities with using your hands, like sports and things like that? All of that plays a part in how long your nails are going to stay on. But prep properly your natural nail. Get a nice, good, long lasting glue, and just be careful. Protect your nails. Your nails are not tools. Don't open cans with your nails. Don't try doing anything with your nails that you're not supposed to be doing with them. So I hope you do take my advice on applying your press-on nails and what not to do and what to do. But we are done with this set. I applied all of the nails. I did the same thing to my other hand and applied all of the nails to it. And this is how they came out. I am obsessed. I know I say that with every nail set I do, but I absolutely love them. I love my nails super, super long, but unfortunately, I do so many things that I can't have my nails very long all the time because it'll interfere with things. So, this right here is like my favorite length and style nail. I just love it so much. Also, want to mention, I do not like red. I don't own anything red. I barely do my own nails red, but I absolutely love this set. I just wanted to be more into the Valentine's Day, February spirit, you know? But I love them. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, let me know as well. I'm thinking of making this design available for press-ons at my shop. So you can check that out in the links in the description box, and you can stay updated on my social media accounts.